Francisco 49ers are having a great season so far with a intended backup quarterback. Brock Purdy, the second-year passer, even has the best quarterback rating in the league, higher than stars such as Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. I'm sure both of those gentlemen are on your fantasy football team, but maybe not Purdy, right? So what he doesn't have is a big paycheck, depending on your definition of a big paycheck. I don't know if he's not making end meets. You see, Purdy was the last player drafted in 2022, hence the name Mr. Irrelevant. And with a low draft position comes a lower salary than almost any other quarterback in football. We have a sports agent here tonight, Doug Eldridge, joining us with all of the expertise. All right, Doug, your take. Does he need more money? Or is it more complicated than that?
It's the old phrase, simple, not easy. I think Brock Purdy is absolutely writing his own checks right now. At this point, it's bordering on a blank check if he continues to play the way he has. Elizabeth, as you said in the intro, Mr. Irrelevant has been around since 1976 and was originally started as a charity concept to celebrate the last pick and really bolster the idea of the underdog. And historically, the final pick in the draft has been just that. In fact, Purdy is the only quarterback ever taken as Mr. Irrelevant to start and win a playoff game in NFL history. So it's pretty remarkable. And the fact that they're off to a 5-1 start and this young man is playing the way he is speaks volumes about his poise and his capability at the position.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we may or may not have a graph. If we don't, but it was showing, how long it takes for other starting quarterbacks to make his yearly salary. For some, it was, 11 minutes or 16 minutes. And I understand that. But is there a process that these players have to go through? When we talk about him being drafted, yes, if I'm not mistaken, it was 262nd. It was very, very low in the draft. And there was others that were obviously picked before him. But then again, that was because of his performance in years prior, and now he's making himself known. Is he going to end up being okay?
Well, look, you know better than any what pressure positions are like for athletes at the elite level. And I would argue that next to pitcher, the most difficult position in all of sports is quarterback. There's only 32 starting quarterbacks in a country of 330 million Americans. And to your point, the NFL really is the ultimate meritocracy. Where you're drafted determines where you start, but it doesn't determine where you finish. Remember, Tom Brady was historically drafted in the 6th round with the 199th pick, and that served as absolute fuel for that Michigan man the entirety of his career. And matter of fact, until this past offseason, Brady was actually the highest career on-field earnings of any player in NFL history with over $300 million. He was just recently leapfrogged by Aaron Rodgers. I say that to say, where Brock starts with the last pick only determines where he starts. It will not impact where he finishes.
And this may be just more emphasis, but I do want to put up this quick screen because I don't really speak football. I speak baseball for a myriad of reasons, and I do have to think about the one and only Manny Machado, who is also a friend of our family. But at one point, when the Orioles were having their best season, my family was there. If I'm not mistaken, it was the 13th and 14th. He was one of the best shortstops, or he was one of the best players on the field, and he was making the league minimum. And then he just had to show himself, right? There has to be some time here.
100%. You have to prove yourself. You mentioned the side-by-sides in terms of how long it takes other players to earn it. Joe Burrow was the top pick in the draft. Led LSU to a national title, top pick in the draft. He earns in one game 4 times of what Purdy earns in the entire season, and that's because he came off of a Heisman and a national championship and the top pick in the draft. It slotted. It was predetermined where he was going to start. But Machado's a great example because that guy absolutely earned it with an absolute hard hat and lunch pail mentality. And now look at him. He ended up, jumping to the left coast, but signed for what I believe is the 4th highest contract in MLB history. The guy earned it. He had to eat pork and beans for a couple of years, so to speak, but now look at him. I mean, he absolutely fought for and well-deserved.
Well, I appreciate your time, Doug. It's always fun to have a little levity this evening, so we're grateful for you.
Certainly.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.